wake up. The room is quiet, but your mind is loud. Before your feet even touch the ground, you've already fought 3 battles, with doubt, with distraction, with delay. And most people lose those battles before they've even left bed. Not because they're weak, but because they've never trained. The truth is, mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's built through discipline, awareness, and repetition. The Stoics knew this. They didn't chase motivation. They practiced clarity. They didn't avoid hardship. They prepared for it. Your mind, right now, is either your greatest weapon or your most dangerous enemy. And you don't train a weapon by hoping it works when you need it. You train it every day, before the battle comes. These 7 mindset hacks aren't hacks at all. They're drills, tools, ancient techniques sharpened by modern necessity. They're what separate you from the noise. They're how you stop reacting and start commanding. Not the world, but yourself. Hack number 1. Train before you're tested. The Stoics believe that adversity should never be a surprise. It should be an expectation. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for chaos to find him. He rehearsed it in his mind. Each morning he would remind himself, people will be selfish, rude, irrational. He didn't do this to become cold. He did it to become ready. That's your first drill. Prepare mentally for difficulty before it arrives. Expect challenge, and challenge loses its edge. Mental toughness isn't built when things go right. It's forged in how you rehearse things going wrong. So start your day with clarity, not illusion. Expect resistance, not to fear it, but to walk straight through it. The world doesn't owe you ease, and life doesn't pause because you're tired. Which brings us to hack number 2. Stop arguing with reality. You don't have to like it, but you have to face it. Complaining is emotional surrender. Stoics didn't surrender. They adjusted. They adapted. They asked, what now? Not why me. Hack number 3. Own your emotions, or they'll own you. The Stoics never said emotions are bad. They said untrained emotions are dangerous. Anger, fear, jealousy, they're signals. But if you act on every signal, you crash. Epictetus taught that between what happens and how we react, there is a space. In that space is your power. That space is what most people never build, because they never pause. You want control? Learn the pause. Feel everything. React to nothing. A warrior doesn't flinch, not because he feels nothing, but because he's trained to choose when and how he moves. And that leads to hack number 4. Detach from outcomes. You are not what happens to you. You are what you do with it. When you need results to validate you, you've already given your power away. The Stoic path is about action without dependency. You do your part with precision, then you let go. You don't beg for outcomes. You outgrow them. Let the world do what it wants. You stay rooted. If you're building the kind of mind that doesn't flinch, subscribe and hit the bell. This journey is just getting started. Hack number 5. Guard your environment like a battlefield. Your mind doesn't operate in isolation. It absorbs everything around it. People, noise, scrolling, chaos. All of it becomes part of your internal world if you don't filter it. The Stoics were minimalists, not just in possessions, but in influence. They chose who and what entered their mental space. If your circle is full of drama, don't be surprised your thoughts feel scattered. If your inputs are toxic, your outputs will be reactive. Audit your space, curate your sources, keep your standards. A warrior doesn't train in the middle of a riot. He creates silence so he can hear himself think. Which brings us to hack number 6. Master your focus. What you give your attention to is what you give your life to. Every scroll, every notification, every pointless thought, it's a cost. The Stoics understood the value of stillness. Not laziness, stillness. Focus is not just about what you do, It's about what you ignore. You can't win the inner war if your mind is distracted by every shadow. Hack number 7. Delay the impulse. Modern minds are addicted to immediacy, quick answers, instant validation, fast comfort. But every impulse you obey without question weakens your grip on yourself. The Stoics taught that freedom isn't the absence of rules, it's the ability to govern yourself. When you feel the urge to react, to check your phone, to lash out, to escape, pause. Not everything needs a response. Not every craving deserves your obedience. Delaying the impulse gives you time to choose, and in that choice, you grow stronger. Mental strength isn't about doing more, it's about resisting more. And if you practice that daily, you begin to move different. You don't chase dopamine, you build discipline. You don't demand peace, you generate it. These 7 drills aren't just ideas, they're weapons, and your mind is now equipped. But the truth is, none of this matters if you're not honest with yourself. And that's where we end this phase, not with a lesson, but with a question. You've got the tools, the philosophy, the drills, but information without execution is nothing. Most people will nod, few will move. They'll agree with the mindset, but stay slaves to emotion. They'll save the video, but change nothing. So here's the question. When life hits you in the face, do you respond like a warrior, or do you collapse like a victim? That answer isn't found in your words. It's written in your habits, in how you wake up, in what you tolerate, in how long you stay stuck before standing back up. Your identity isn't built in theory, it's built in response. And your response reveals everything. So be honest. Do you control your mind? Or does your mind still control you? If your answer was victim, good. Because that honesty is the beginning of strength. The moment you admit you haven't been leading your mind, you start learning how to. No one's born a warrior. Every Stoic we quote today, they trained, they failed, they bled inside before they ever found calm outside. So can you. But you can't train part-time and expect full-time results. You can't scroll all day and call it research. You can't say, I want discipline, and then run every time it's uncomfortable. You've got to become what you say you value. The gap between who you are and who you're becoming is only closed by repetition. Mental strength is built like muscle, 1 rep at a time. 1 decision, 1 boundary, 1 pause. That's where it starts. Not tomorrow, not when life gets easier. Now. Because if you don't start now, nothing changes. And if nothing changes, this video is just more noise. Don't let it be. You don't need a new version of yourself. You need the real version, the one buried under comfort, chaos, and excuses. These 7 Stoic mindset hacks aren't about becoming superhuman. They're about becoming honest, clear, sharpened, trained, not to impress the world, but to lead yourself. That's the mission of the inner legion. Not fame, not likes, mastery, mental resilience, peace without weakness, focus without noise, power without ego. If you've watched this far, it's not by accident. You already feel it. You're not like the rest. Most people scroll. You stayed. That means something. So use it. Pick 1 hack. Just 1. Practice it today. Not perfectly, but consistently. Because transformation doesn't happen in theory. It happens in repetition, in resistance, in you. Inner strength isn't a trend. It's your edge, your shield, your weapon. Now go train it.